is a piece from the seminiferous tubule. Okay? The seminiferous tubule contains the cells, including the stem cell and other cells that are at different stages of spermatogenesis. Formation of gametes called gametogenesis. Look. Formation of male gametes called spermatogenesis. Formation of female gametes called oogenesis. And the cells that are ultimately going to be, or that give rise to sperm or sperm cells, called spermatogenic cells. The different stages here you can see the spermatogonium, the stem cell, which is diploid. If this is from human being, then the chromosome number of spermatogonium will be 46. Spermatogenesis involves several processes, like first mitosis, then differentiation into primary spermatocyte, which is diploid. Then primary spermatocyte undergoes meiosis 1, forming secondary spermatocytes. The chromosome number is reduced, and then ultimately the meiosis 2 would result in the formation of spermatid, 4 spermatids from one primary spermatocyte. And spermatids, they are fat, ugly. I'm just dramatizing. And after some time, they will change into spermatozoon by a process called spermiogenesis. You will learn in the lecture. And these young sperm cells now are released. But you can see that inside the seminiferous tubule, besides the spermatogenic cells, there are certain cells called Sertoli cells or sustentacular cell. You see here one complete sustentacular cell and two partially, part of sustentacular cell, and these cells are attached to each other by tight junction, and this tight junction creates the blood-testis barrier. They form the blood-testis barrier. Sertoli cell has so many functions, but it is also called a nurse cell. It secretes a hormone called inhibin. But what about testosterone? Testosterone is secreted by interstitial cells, also called Leydig cells. These cells are located between seminiferous tubules in the interstitial spaces. Here, this cell secretes testosterone. Okay? Now, what about a sperm cell? You need to know the anatomy of a sperm cell. Here, usually is divided into head and tail. There is a very short neck. The head has two parts, one genetic part, the nucleus, and metabolic part, that is acrosome. That is the anteriormost part of the sperm head. And this acrosome is a very, very important structure. It contains strong enzymes. During fertilization, acrosome plays a very, very important role, because on the egg cortex, that is the female sex cell's cortex, acrosome releases enzymes, and that is called acrosome reaction, and that would help the penetration of the nucleus into the female sex cells for the union of the nucleus of the sperm cell and nucleus of the egg to form diploid nucleus to form a diploid cell. The tail, the first part of the tail, is called the middle piece or mid piece, containing mitochondria, many mitochondria. Why? To produce ATP molecules. Why? For the energy needed for movement. Movement is an active process. It will spend energy through flagellar movement by moving the flagellum or the tail. Flagellar movement. So here, the middle piece, the principal piece, and the end piece. There are three parts of the sperm cell. Here, it is taken out, indicating that this structure is much longer than it appears here. That's why this portion is taken out. Meaning, it is this structure, the tail is much longer. Okay? Two more diagrams of male. That means I'm going as if I'm going over the models on male reproductive system. Now this shows accessory structures, male accessory structures. You can see the accessory sex glands, male sex glands, paired seminal vesicles, this prostate gland, and paired corpus glands or vulvourethral glands. Seminal vesicles contribute most of the seminal fluid. Seminal vesicles secrete fluid, about 60% of the seminal of the volume of semen, containing alkaline substance, and also the food for sperm. The food for sperm is fructose, sugar, a hexose sugar. Look at the duct of the seminal vesicle that joins with the vas deferens, ampulla of vas deferens here, ampulla. The terminal part of the vas deferens becomes swollen, and this and the seminal duct, they join to form the ejaculatory duct, releasing the contents into the prostatic urethra. This is prostatic urethra. Now, prostatic urethra then continues, leaves the prostate gland and becomes intermediate urethra or membranous urethra through the muscle here, which is also called, this is deep muscles of perineum, also called urogenital diaphragm. You can write that down. If I did not write the deep muscles of perineum, you can find urogenital diaphragm in the study guide. And there you can see the duct of corpus gland into the membranous urethra or intermediate urethra. Prostate gland contributes about 33% of the 33, yes, maybe 33, 60, 33, 93, and here 7% of the seminal fluid. 33% and 7%. I have to look at that. It could be 30 or 33. It could be 7 or 10. I'm losing it. Getting older. This is called the root of the penis. formed by three cylindrical structures, corpus cavernosum here, each on each side of the spongiosum, corpus spongiosum. This forms the crus of penis, crus meaning the leg. Crus is singular, plural is crura. Crura. One crus, two crura. Anyway, this is corpus spongiosum. This end is called the bulb of penis. So bulb of penis and crus of penis together, or the crura of penis, they together form the root of the penis. Okay? And this is a spongy or the membranous urethra. The last diagram, the last structure. There we go. This is the cross section through penis, the transverse section. These two corpora cavernosa, and this is corpus spongiosum, and here is the spongy urethra. This is the cutaneous skin, and this has been developed from this one. Look at the deep artery in the corpus cavernosum. So what happens? This erectile tissue has blood vessels. Due to parasympathetic stimulation, what happens? The blood flows into the rectal tissue and becomes congested. Blood is retained there. And what is the thing called an erection? Okay? And when blood leaves the rectal tissue, or the tissues become flaccid. Here we go again. Look at the prostate gland. This is urinary bladder. This is internal urethral orifice, or the opening. This is prostatic urethra. Urogenital diaphragm or deep muscles of perineum, root of penis, bulb of penis and crus of penis. So the distal end of the penis, this is the proximal end, this is distal end is the glans or glans penis. That has corona side here, the border. And the glans penis is covered by foreskin or prepuce. Okay? You can look at the deep arteries. So I will go over now